let's just go with your original assumption that Kaguya drops the acid dimension on Ishiki's head. First of all, I think that would apply to Kaguya. Kaguya could teleport out. She's not going to be hurt either way. The thing is, Ishiki also has teleportation, and yes, Ameno Minaka is in an instant, but we've seen Sakura. The acid doesn't kill you in an instant. It doesn't burn you. So Ishiki should be able to just teleport out of that dimension as well. I would assume
No,
that's
that's
similar
flawed logic though, because you would take into consideration like the context would be different. It would be a portal to the dimension, and then contents in the dimension fall out and then touch you. It would be the entirety of that dimension atop you, so you would be engulfed in
No, it's
acid
not
in
the
an instant.
entirety of the dimension. It's only the dimension that is touching you at the time. The entire sea of acid wouldn't be touching you. Only the
Yeah,
acid
but even
surrounding
then,
you.
though, there is something you need to consider,
What,
Udy, is
what,
that if
what are you talking
Ishiki's
about?
in the dimension that he teleports out, the acid will come with him, so he will still continue to burn as
Yeah, it's
he's
like
Well, he would
leaving.
just move
it's
out
Get
of the
taken by the
way.
freeze.
But again, it's not going to be an instant
How does
death
he
because
move
it would be
out?
just be
Wait,
damage over time.
wait, but what? How? That's what I'm saying. It's corrosive. So so what we know about the acid dimension is that there's acid in that dimension. We don't know if there's a sea and then there's a sky above it. That's not the information we have to work with. We know that it was opened up and then acid came out. So as far as we know, it's just a dimension of acid.
Yeah.
Do you have like
It
another?
depends on if you think Ishiki's acid level.
Well, I was saying,
Yeah.
regardless if you think he can teleport
no
to the
reason to
top
believe he
of the
isn't.
sea or not, I'm saying he would just teleport out of that dimension, back to the original dimension.
So, like-
not before he gets damaged by the acid.
That's fine.
It depends.
I don't think he would
like,
die to it.
do you think that does the acid scale above a Barin mode Naruto?
No.
Punch.
Is
The
Like,
fact that
Ishiki's
Sakura-
insane. Ishiki's
Wait,
insanely
but
durable.
certain properties of certain things can bypass certain kinds of durability, unless you have like any evidence to to the contrary of that. This kind of gets back to like the Mimi stuff, like why are they dodging Shuriken? I think they do that for a reason, but you know,
Just to be polite.
I know poisons don't work on Otsutsuki. Or certain other mechanics can't bypass their durability. In the case of an Urashiki and like the belly of the toad for Jiraiya, depending on what continuity
yeah.
you want to go with.
So I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt him. It
yeah.
would hurt him. I do think it would hurt him. It's not going to kill him, or it's arguable how much it would hurt him. But based on Sakura, who did minimal to arguably no healing, it doesn't hurt enough to stop someone from doing whatever they were doing prior. And that's Sakura.
So
like, I
you
think
understand the
Ishiki is
context.
more durable.
Wait, no. You understand the context is different though, right? With Sakura and then the hypothetical scenario of Ishiki being engulfed in a sea of acid. You do know
Yes.
there's a difference in that. Yeah. So
But again,
it's
Sakura's
not that he's
arm
getting his arm.
wasn't destroyed. She was still using her hurt arm.
Okay, but she wasn't engulfed in acid.
Would that change the amount of damage to
Again, it
over-
all comes back to
There's
whether
also
you
can
another
surface
thing to
area?
consider, Udy, that you're
Corrosive.
not gonna like
It's
is
corrosive.
all
It's damage
all
over
goes
time.
back
It's
to-
cumulative.
but it stops
Yeah, so his
at
where
a
eyelids
you
are
certain
gonna
point.
scale
fucking-
Ishiki.
It does damage, then it stops doing damage.
yeah, but another
It doesn't keep doing damage forever.
He's in the acid dimension. There's still going to be an interval of time between his brain processing what's occurring, if possible. I'm not sure like what he hears or what he sees, given his eyes would be melting off his head, unless you think his eyelids are like not susceptible to corrosive acid damage, and then I would like to see evidence for that. But and then he would need to like process all of it as it occurs, because remember, supposedly this, if you want to take it at its word, happens in an instant. Then he's going to have to like find a means to warp out of there. And let's say hypothetically he does, the corrosive damage, he's fucked. Is there a healing factor that he possesses that I'm not aware of, to where he's going to get his eyeballs back? Or like, can he even use Sukuna Kono Daikoku
Get
to like
them
what's
back.
happening?
Regardless,
jutsu comes from his eyes and they're burned away, he might not be able to
no, I
use
agree,
safe
Kamui, but the
jutsu.
thing is, it would burn the outside layer of dead skin
Yeah.
of the eye, not the ocular ability within the eye, or the chakra. Also, we see with
Well, no,
Madara that
it's-
you don't need
well,
the
it
eyes to
depends on-
perform ocular jutsu anyways, you just need to have the ability unlocked.
No,
So anyway.
a specific ocular jutsu called the Susanoo doesn't require the eyes. Pretty much every other one does.
You're divorcing a lot of context, or like you're applying other context to this situation where it's not applicable.
Okay, regardless of where you scale
but-
him in terms of
but-
speed or reaction, I'm sure you agree he's probably faster than like part 1 characters who are like lightning speed. And so he would be in there for like a fraction of a millisecond.
But all of that you're saying is taking into consideration that like or assuming that like how quick he's going to cognitively process everything around him, like him, and then also reacting to like the pain of what he's feeling. Like there's too many variables to take into consideration, and like you saying he's going to be in there, like you giving a set time frame for how long he's going to be in there. Bro, we doing too much. Like let's arrive at the logical, common sense conclusion. If a motherfucker is like drenched, submerged in acid, I'm pretty sure, bro. There's like listen, unless you got some healing factor that's gonna like get you where you need to go, which again, show me evidence for that, right? And even if you want to like, I want to like give you a bone and say he gets out of there by some means, he's still gonna be getting. And then Kaguya slow walks on him and like stomps him out. Like it's over for that dude, bro.
Well, the argument
She could
wasn't the
also
rest of the
set him
battle; it was
back
just this
again.
one instant.
Keep
So
keep
you
in
would just
mind, bro.
you would apply the same amount of damage on Sakura's
Bro,
arm
stop
across the
talking. No,
entirety of
stop
Ishiki's
talking
body.
about Sakura's arm, bro. Stop talking about Sakura's arm,
That's
bro. I don't even
we
know what this
see the
means.
acid damage Sakura's arm.
Bro,
The
look,
context
only
is so
relevant-
different. It's too
the only
different, bro.
the only argument here that's relevant,
That's
okay,
the only bit that was
is
touched.
the fact that you prove whether or not one Ishiki's acid level. You believe he's acid level to the point where he's just gonna die the instant acid touches his skin, then yeah, you can argue that he's just gonna get folded. If you believe that he's not acid level, or at least he needs to be submerged in acid for a certain amount of time before he actually dies, then you could actually argue that he could
anyone
escape
would.
with minimal damages or maybe two severe damages. It all depends on where you think Ishiki scales in terms of durability in comparison to acid and how fast he can escape the dimension before he accumulates enough damage for it to matter. So that's the only thing that matters in this argument. The thing with Sakura is like the context is different. I think all Mello is saying is that Sakura only got some acid splashed on her hand, right? Ishiki would be submerged, so it's different, right? So I don't think the Sakura argument adds anything at all.
The
to
amount of
conversation.
damage different. The acid itself isn't different. The same acid that would be touching Sakura's hand or arm or whatever would be touching all of Ishiki's body all at the same time. The amount of acid damage done to Sakura's hand would apply all across Ishiki's body. The amount of damage wouldn't be different. It would just be spread across a larger surface area.
No, it depends. Like if there's a it's like if you hold an iron to your skin, as opposed to if it just briefly touches you. So it's like a constant pressure. I think that what Mello is getting at is like he's submerged, so it's a constant pressure of acid, as opposed to some just splashing on your skin. So I think there's a difference with how much damage or how quickly you
Depth-
will be damaged.
Depth is a different argument.
in those.
But I don't know if
So that's why I think he said
pressure-
Not a
submerged.
that's why I said submerged and cumulative corrosive damage. That's not a different argument.
Because it's a
exactly what I said.
chemical burn. I don't know if pressure increases the speed of the burn of acid.
I'm talking about
I mean-
duration. But listen, he goes there. Okay, so is there anything? Have I seen Ishiki get hit with acid before? No. Not to my knowledge. I don't think you guys have either. Have I seen him not get hit with acid before? No. I haven't seen either way. So to me, I don't have a problem saying his durability is pretty high. He's taking hits from Barry Mode Naruto, right? But like I do think the kind of damage matters. It comes from like a punch enhanced by chakra of some means, or the damage comes through a poisoning or some kind of acid burn damage, right? I do think that matters, right? And as far as I can see, right, these characters don't have like some kind of like I've never seen an instance where like they can like deal with something outside of like in combat abilities of a conventional kind, right?
Technically, Jigen,
sorry.
Jigen and Kaguya. Remember, Amaterasu is as hot as the sun, right? That's what's stated in data books. And he literally has it on his body for like 5 seconds before he absorbs it, and he doesn't take any damage. And the same thing with Kaguya back in Shippuden.
Kashikoji's
No. That context, that was a less than 10%, and he was dying. So there's a difference. They have Kaguya back in Shippuden, like she did the same thing. Kaguya, like Sasuke shot the Amaterasu on her body. It was just there. She wasn't taking damage. Then she slowly absorbed it. So I think there's a certain durability that you have to take into account when you're like, determining like how fast these things would actually damage them. So I think that's the argument like Oodie is making.
Can how long can you stand next to something as hot as the sun?
Heat is
0.
different because I think if your entire body was
Okay.
on fire compared to just your hand on fire, I think when your entire body's on fire, your hand would receive more damage just from the collateral burn effect than just if your hand was on
my
fire.
point.
Whereas with acid,
My
I think
point-
if your entire body's submerged in acid compared to just your hand is receiving the same amount of damage, whether it's your entire body or just your hand.
I'm calling into question the description of Amaterasu and its validity of it being as hot as the sun. Because if it's as hot as the sun, as described, right, specifically described as hot as the sun, yo ass ain't standing next to the sun. It doesn't matter if you shoot that thing, like it'll probably murder you as it's like further away from as it emerges around you. So no, like you can't be around something.
Well, hang
as
on,
hot
Mello.
as
I
the sun.
have
That's
an answer you're gonna
factually
love.
inaccurate.
Hey,
It's
Mello,
different.
this helps you. Mello, how hot is the Naruto sun? There you go. That's all you need.
and
Hell no.
it's just an anime logic because like these characters are moving at light speed, and
Yeah.
Logically they aren't. So it's like it's just this is anime. So if they say
that's
it's
not a satisfactory answer for me though.
I understand, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, no, like it's as hot as no, it's not as hot as the sun because they all be dead. Like they wipe out
They
their
just
planet.
Naruto characters just have the Naruto universe is just that goated, man. It has like an atmosphere, you know.
for that,
might
sure,
be
you know? So I
true,
get some proof for that,
considering
but as
like,
far
Hey,
as far
just going off the
they
statements.
would boil their
Just going off the
seas
statements.
and murder themselves every time. Like the one time
No.
Amaterasu was
They
casted,
could just
okay,
be that durable.
description
No,
is accurate.
because guess what? The seas scale towards the sun, so it requires more contact with the sun for the sea to evaporate in
Well,
Naruto.
if we're being
To be
that
honest,
goofy, then I'm
Naruto
gonna get back
characters
to what
have some
Oodie
heat
said.
resistance. Like Hokuo's
If we're
ability
being
is
that
literally
silly.
to boil Naruto's chakra,
Yeah.
and he gets stronger instead of just dying. So
maybe Ishiki
he's
just gets an
Naruto
amp
was
from the
burning.
lava dimension.
yeah,
You make a good point. Like Naruto's chakra is burning to the boiling point. Steam is emitting from his body, and he isn't dying. Yeah, these characters scale higher than human beings.
But the boiling point ain't the sun. Okay, so we can remove that.
Didn't
I mean, I
Momoshiki
don't-
absorb a sun though in the novels? Hey,
bro, come on.
But
Absorb
Mello,
the
hang
star,
on,
the
because
star,
think
the
about it.
star.
This might be
a
consistent
star is a
because
sun, though.
They call
well, think
planets-
about it
they call
though.
planets
well, a sun
stars.
is a star. A
That
star
is
not a
true.
sun.
That
So
is
Mello,
true.
have you ever set fire
is true.
before? Have you ever created fire, Mello, in
I'm
real
not
life?
going down this path.
No,
Nope,
just hang
not
on, just
going
real
down
quick,
this
just real
path.
quick, just real quick.
No,
The
no,
answer
no,
is
no, no.
yes.
So
Okay.
I'm getting back to my point that the whole sun thing doesn't matter. So have we seen an instance where an Otsutsuki can't take unconventional types of damage within battle? The only way that I point to like the poison thing with Urashiki, that is at the very least an instance, right? And do you guys think like their bodies outside of combat like function like human beings' bodies? Like if you stab them with like a pin, it will go through their flesh.
Technically,
Yeah, I
Mello,
think
the
they
thing
have
with the Urashiki thing is that
No.
the poison wasn't bypassing him. The reason why it did is because of the time thing. So literally, they had to speed up time for him to spend way longer. I think it was like because he was skipping forwards and backwards in time for the poison to actually affect him. So again, like it goes
Yeah.
back to how long do they
So-
have to spend under a certain effect for
So
it to affect
that's-
them? You know.
That gets back to
It's
my
like
original argument, which is duration. So that this is the reason why
Mhm.
so there's no way for me to know because it hasn't happened, obviously. So I have to like rely on like common sense or like Occam's razor if you want to be like super nerdy. So like that's why I mentioned his neurons, right? Like how long does it take for him to process his situation? Because apparently it happens in an instant, right? So how long does it take to process that information? How long does it take for him to like feel pain if he is going to feel it? He doesn't need like nerve damage or whatever, and then like cope with that pain, and then figure out what he needs to do given this. Like there's a lot of context there that I would imagine is there, and I'm taking it into consideration. So like that was a part of my like duration argument as well.
I think that the thing we need to distinguish is that the switch is instant, not the damage. So like it's switching in
There's
an
no damage.
instant. No, I mean like.
All right, I'm glad there's no damage.
The
All right.
surrounding is
Acid
switching
does
to
no
him.
damage.
It's switching into him
No.
being in the.
Oodie, no, I'm talking about the ability itself doesn't inherently damage you. It depends on
Yeah.
what you end up. That's what I meant.
So
Yeah.
so when it's so the instant thing, it switching in an instant doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because the duration is separate from whatever
I do
how
think it
fast
matters.
they get to it.
I do think it matters.
How so?
Because it determines how quickly Ishiki goes from one situation to another.
I
And
agree.
I believe that there's going to be an interval of time in which he
Yeah.
processes that happening.
I agree with Mello there. Yeah.
But
that's
I
why it
think
matters.
that I think that that's more so tied to his durability rather than how fast they get to the dimension. Why I say this is because
I agree.
if they
I agree.
switch to it, oh, okay, yeah. So if they switch to the dimension and there is in the lava, right? We know. So we're arguing that it takes a while for them to be affected. So we're talking about like regular acid. Now you can argue if this is pumped by chakra. That's a different argument. Okay.
Sorry.
So if it's acid, right?
That's kind of not what I'm arguing. My position is, and this could be wrong, but this is the position. I don't know. Okay. I
know we don't know. That's what we're arguing.
So what I have to do is try to like make sense of it, right? So that's why I'm bringing up the instance does matter because it, like I explained before, he goes from one instance to another, and the time it takes for him to process that, and the time it takes for him to process the pain he's feeling, if he's feeling any pain at all. If he's not feeling pain, he's really fucked. But if he's like, you better hope he's feeling pain, and then how long it takes for him to process that, and then also how long it takes for him to like know what to do in that situation, given that his like lungs are like boiling out. If he's screaming, then acid's in his mouth. Like all this context, like I have to take into consideration that it's possible. Is his outside body durable? If he's screaming, given the pain, does it enter in his body? So now his internal organs are susceptible to acid damage. There's a lot of context. His ears, do they go up into his ears? There's orifices that he possesses. I think he has an asshole. I'm not entirely sure. I think he has a piss hole. I'm not entirely sure. So like, I'm trying to figure out like, and then also
it depends.
So this context I need to take into consideration with that. So given all that context, I do think that happens in enough of a time for him to take damage, given like my speculation. I think he can be damaged. I have to like have that as a foundation to first and foremost. I do believe he can be damaged. I don't have a reason to believe that he can't.
I agree.
Yeah, but what we're arguing is that can he be damaged? Like, how long does it take for him to actually be damaged? So that's why I'm saying like what really matters here is the duration. No, that's what we don't know. So like that's what I'm saying. Like that's why we can't agree. Oh yeah, this is how Kage defeats Ishiki because would have to know can Ishiki withstand being in acid and how long can he withstand being in acid. That's why I brought up the examples of the Amaterasu, not instantly like burning away at their skin, right? So you can argue whether you believe like acid in Kage's dimension is burns quicker than Amaterasu. I don't think there's any evidence to argue for it or against it. So again, we're at
the temperature of Amaterasu and the description of how it like what's actually occurring. I'm calling into question. Unless something to counter that.
But even then, like even if you don't believe that it's as hot as the sun, like there's no way to prove whether it's whether if acid burns hotter than Amaterasu. There's no way to prove that.
Well, acid.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you have instances,
but sorry.
If
anything, acid's actually just cold in terms of temperature.
No, let's not get into
it. Okay, sorry.
Amaterasu is literally chocolate bars, so let's not do that. so Amaterasu, you don't know. So we have evidence of this thing that's stated to burn the hottest in the universe, Amaterasu, and it's on Jigen's body for at least 5 seconds before he gets damaged to the point, oh yeah, I'm gonna absorb this, and he doesn't take any damage whatsoever. So, and then you have Kaguya, same thing. So if you believe, right, that Ishiki is at least, has more durability than Jigen, who is in a dying body, and and then he's taking 5 seconds for Amaterasu to burn him, like the thing that's stated to be the hottest burns the hot. We're going off what's stated in the universe. There's no statement on acid. Amaterasu burns the hottest in the universe, and he's tanking that for 5 seconds. I'm going to use that to say, okay, cool. Ishiki is more durable than Jigen, right? And then he gets placed in acid. I can say, okay, cool. He has at least 5 seconds to say, okay, cool. I'm in acid. Let me teleport. 5 seconds, right? I think that's amply enough time before he even starts to get burned by the acid. And even if he starts to get burned, it's not going to be something that's life-threatening to Ishiki based on his established durability and Jigen's feat with Amaterasu. Again, this goes back to whether you can prove whether Amaterasu is stronger, is burns hotter than acid. But I'm going off what's stated in the show, which is that Amaterasu burns the hottest. So
Yeah, but
that's
that
what I
gets
would
us
say.
that gets us back to like the thing I started this podcast off with, where like something can be stated, but if it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to abide by it because like I have the
No, but
disposition
It's
of
not
not
about
being
the
a sheep.
sun. It's stated
like
hottest
but
in
no,
the
but no,
universe,
but it's
regardless of the
stated that
sun.
Amaterasu. No, it's not
uh,
about whether. No, but let me clarify before you continue.
wait.
Wait,
You understand it's a distinction between like how like okay. Well, let me ask. Do you think there's a difference between how acid would damage and how fire would damage?
Yes. So I agree with Mel. That is the argument.
Okay.
there's
So
a
please continue.
I just want to see if you get
yes.
there.
There's likely some
I was trying to wait
difference,
for him to
but
get there, but
Okay.
no, there's likely some difference. But like Amaterasu is literally like chakra powers.
and within that
So
difference, there's a
it's
distinction.
not regular natural fire. So you
Wait,
can't
kiddo,
compare it to natural fire.
within that difference is a distinction, and that matters because that's extra context to take into consideration. Because
All right, let
the
me.
damage from acid is different from the damage from fire, I wouldn't compare them. And you have descriptors of this fire that makes no fucking sense. It burns as hot as the sun, but they don't fucking die. That's
All right,
clearly not,
okay.
it's clearly being
Let me.
embellished.
You
So
This is common sense.
does acid burn? Does acid burn?
It's not about whether it's burn. It's how does that process occur in comparison to fire.
you don't need
No,
to
like
compare
no.
the burn, just the
So
resistance. It's the reason of why. It's because of the chakra. It's because Jigen has a lot of chakra, he's able to do that, whereas 10% Jigen doesn't have a lot of chakra, so
I
he burns more easily. In this case, Ishiki would have more chakra, so he wouldn't burn as easily, regardless. Because the chakra, what it's doing, the reason it's resistant is because the chakra enhances the skin. You can't enhance your internal organs, you can't train those. You can enhance the hardness of your skin, the durability of it.
I just don't.
no,
There's too much context to take into
it's
consideration.
simple. I
Like
think
how? Well, please present the simple version.
yeah, it's simple because like it's this. Amaterasu is stated to burn the hottest. Acid burns. What the action itself is what it does the best, not how it does it. So when you start to introduce science, mumbo jumbo, there's
Sorry,
a
sorry. What does
it's
the statement
completely
say again?
irrelevant.
Can you repeat that statement for me?
Amaterasu burns the hottest.
Okay, acid doesn't have temperature, like in terms of.
No. It's not about temperature. It's about burn. What burns the hottest in the universe? So if I say a general statement that something is the coldest in the universe, it doesn't matter how you get the cold. It's the cold that it does the best. So if I say
Wait, so it's the
something,
statement burns the hottest in the universe?
They never
yeah,
clarify what type of burn.
So that gets you back to so it burns hotter than the sun, not as hot, bright as the sun. So now you're giving me contradictory stuff.
Did he ever say
no,
bright?
well,
I don't think he did.
let me
Yes.
pull it up. It's not contradictory because
regardless of
if you say
pull it up
no,
or
because
not, you told me what it said.
no, because
Kiddo, wait,
no,
kiddo.
He misspoke
On
if
one
he said
hand, you're
bright.
telling me that Amaterasu burns as hot as the sun, and then on the other hand, you're telling me there's information
no,
saying it
Mello,
burns
that's
the
not
hottest.
Mello, that's not contradictory. It's
So is it
contradictory
hotter than the
because
sun?
you no, it's contradictory because you don't believe it burns hot as the sun.
It's
I believe
both
it
statements
does.
exist.
So if I say it burns the
No,
hottest,
but
then no,
so
listen, no, this
so wait, is there things that burn hotter than the sun?
no, if I say it's as
Amaterasu.
hot as the sun, then it does burn the hottest because it burns as hot as the sun. So it doesn't burn hotter than the sun because
it's
it
fellow
burns the
strongest.
hottest.
You can be tied
because
in
it's
first
burning
place.
as
Plus, does the sun burn anything?
yeah,
Wait,
it's yeah. That's there. It burns as hot as the sun, so it burns the hottest in the universe. So there is no contradiction. But
So
you believe that it doesn't burn as hot as the sun, which is why you're getting a contradiction.
Yeah.
wait. Okay, so my belief that it does not burn as hot as the sun. Do you have any like actual in the verse like data to prove that invalid?
I have an inference
outside of the statement itself.
I don't need to prove a negative because if I'm asking if I say okay cool, the Amaterasu says it burns as hot as the sun, and also that it burns the hottest in the universe, stated multiple times in the series. You're the one who's arguing from a point of view trying to disprove what's stated in the series. I don't need to disprove anything. So I'm just arguing from the point of the statements being used. So that if you want to prove that it doesn't burn as hot as the sun, you have to just
that's perfectly fine. I'll just rely like on the common sense of like my audience.
The common sense contradicts the statements in the series.
With this one. So if something burns as hot as the sun, and I do get your point. Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate that. If something does burn as hot as the sun, or it goes even beyond that because it's the hottest thing in the universe, so that does apply to the sun. Gotcha. Right. And that thing is shooting out of your eyes or within any vicinity to you. Don't you think that these people would die? Don't you think their
They're not
worlds would blow
people,
up?
they're
Don't you think there
aliens.
would be a cataclysm?
We're,
I
we're,
don't want to hear
you're,
that stupid shit.
we're appealing
No,
to a
it's
reality in
no, we're talking
fiction,
about
man.
we're talking about common
We're
sense. 'Cause
appealing to reality in
if we're
fiction.
playing like if we're doing like dumb shit, then we can get back to what Oodie said and with like we can't even like yeah. So like we can incorporate like a lot of weird shit, but we're trying to rely on common sense here.
But even
Right?
though shooting fire from your eyes, Mello, wouldn't that just burn the eye? Why go to the extreme and say burn as hot as the sun? Wouldn't fire itself just burn the eyeball?
I think so. Yeah, I think the entire
Yeah,
that would get me
The
back
eye
to the
doesn't
point
does it?
burn.
that it
Does
doesn't
it?
actually burn it.
Does it?
Yeah.
But it
No, it
doesn't. So
doesn't.
that's what I'm saying. You
Why
can't
doesn't it?
appeal to
Why
reality in
doesn't it?
fiction
But why doesn't it?
because it's fiction.
But no, no. There are certain things that we can like when we do analysis for these series, there are certain defaults that we have to rely upon. Do you agree with that or not?
Some aspects of reality does cross over into fiction. Yes.
Okay. Well, there you
Some,
go.
not all, because again,
Wait.
like
I'm
that's
not
why
saying I did. Did I say all? I didn't say
no, that's what I'm
all.
saying. Like it doesn't change the argument because it doesn't apply to all. So me agreeing that it applies to some doesn't add anything to the argument because it doesn't apply here. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
No. Wait. So what I'm saying is, it's not about like the fire burning. I do think that is a context in which you can like apply fantasy elements, whatever. It's like you're
So
transmuting
we agree.
chakra to certain things. Yes, I do think that can apply there, but I don't think that if it's technically like if it's absolutely the hottest thing that's burning, I don't think that that's going to apply because we need to
Why?
factor in certain real world elements, right? Like I know when I've seen instances where Naruto gets burned by shit and he's like hot, and he's throwing up like fucking his hands up and shit like some kind of
And then there's
common
also
shit. Like,
instances where
I
it's
know that they
walking in
can be
fire,
burned.
not getting burned. So it's like
Yeah,
that's why
so it's kind of
that's
like
why
it
it's fiction.
varies. So
No,
it's
that's what
kind of like it varies.
Well,
that's
no,
what I'm
it,
saying. Why
So
go to the extreme of the hot as the sun if I have Itachi shooting fire from his eyes?
you don't
Why
have
if
to.
if we have the evidence of these guys literally doing something that's impossible in reality, why say the extreme is impossible? It's fiction.
You go with what's
If they
most
say it
consistent,
burns as hot as the sun,
and
then
it doesn't
You
have to
move
be
at light speed.
inconsistent.
You would just like disintegrate.
it
You can
moves at
just
light speed.
say
We
that
wouldn't
you
be able to
can.
see them, but we know they're moving at light speed, right?
Yeah,
It isn't. It
for
shouldn't be possible,
consistency, it's
but
because of
they
chakra. You
are.
can just amp your
then
body
you
with
would so
chakra.
then you would apply it. So that's okay. So this gets back to you apply real world elements when applicable, right? And that because that is a thing that you can possibly do, right? That's what I'm taking into consideration. I don't think if the description from the data books, which are constantly contradicted via the hyperbole and the whatever flowery language that they want to use to hype up certain instances, it's saying
But
that
this
this
is
thing is as hot as the sun. I'm not
this is
fucking
stated in the
buying it in
show,
the
by the way,
same. I'm not buying in the anime.
in the manga.
I'm still not going to take that into consideration, given that I don't believe that these characters can survive like the fucking heat of the sun, and I don't have any evidence to prove
But
that
do you
they
think they
can.
can survive moving at light speed, which is fiction that would rip their bones
Yeah, you
apart
would
and
just
destroy their
disintegrate
bodies,
yourself.
and also
Yeah.
destroy
Increase
the
their
earth?
durability with chakra.
But that gets back to now we're looping on my argument. Context has to matter. There are going to be situations where you apply it because that's what the situation is, and then there's going to be situations where you don't. But
So,
let's say the situation is as you give it that he can because this gets us back to the point here that he can survive like burn damage from Amaterasu for a period of time, whatever the case may be, right? So it gets back to us arguing duration of him being within the acid dimension, right? So now we need to take like because you don't know and I don't know, we have to try to like parse out what the hell is going to happen, and then we have
whose
to
head
present
canon
like
we
certain
agree with?
instances. Exactly. So I'm presenting what I'm presenting. Getting back to the actual argument is that I do think, given like the context, right, that you would imagine would occur from one person going from one like space time to another instantaneously, that there are a series of events that occur that you might imagine like a person would have to like deal with, right? And because I don't know how long it would take him to like process these things, or if he screams and acid goes down and he takes internal damage, which might not be applicable to his external durability. Like there's a lot of context that I can't take into consideration. This is what I'm putting forth. And by the way, this is just one of many conditions in which I think Kaguya can win.
Well, it's
right?
not about the fight, it's
But-
about this specific instance. So the other instances don't matter for this one.
Well, that's perfectly fine. But it seems like you want to have like a broader conversation. I would imagine you had like some win condition or some shit. So even in this instance, that's the
unrelated
root
to
of
this
this
one.
like kind of. I've explained what the root of it is. You don't know how long, I don't know how long. So we're trying to arrive at like what's the most logical thing given the information we have to work with, and it's in that we have a difference.
So, Mello,
that
do you
correct
agree
or
on the 5
incorrect?
seconds though?
The
Yeah,
5 seconds of what?
yeah. Do you agree that he at least has 5 seconds based on the Jigen feed, or do you think no?
Mello's gonna say no. I'll just answer for him because I feel like he doesn't want to answer that.
It's not about whether or not I want to answer. My answer would be no, given the position I've had this entire time.
Yeah.
No, it has to be no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he has to do the 5 seconds. No.
Mello, if you want
But-
context,
So you think the acid
Again,
just instant
but then-
negs him?
Well, I
Just
don't
negs
know.
him within less than 5. No. That we know we don't know. That's where we're arguing because we're just like giving our headcanon. I'm asking what your position is, not what you know as fact, because we don't know the facts.
But
So let's
that
ask him.
question is irrelevant given what I presented thus far, because I've given entire scenarios of him processing things that are occurring, so that would remove the instant neg. Correct?
No. Well, it depends on how fast you
Yes.
think he is, right?
No.
Like, how
What I'm saying-
fast is an instant?
it's
No,
about
what
reaction.
I'm
speed, not
saying
speed.
is, what I'm saying is, you asked me, does it instantly neg him? And I'm saying there's a process in which I believe that he's going to go through. So no, I don't think he's going to be instantly. So that's why I'm saying
so
your
you-
question is irrelevant.
So it's less than 5 seconds, but not 5 seconds.
Well, less than 5 seconds would be not 5 seconds. I
That
think
he
you
would-
mean not 0.
I mean, he's not taking my position, but he's agreeing.
He's somewhere in the middle.
There's
Yes.
a time between instant. Is sometime 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I'm just asking, like, what do you think it is? If it's not 0 and not 5, like, where do you think it roughly lands? Before he's
We know you
So
don't
the
know.
reason
Just
why-
just
again,
randomly,
everything.
what do you think? Out of a guess.
Well, obviously. So I'm answering the question. So
Yeah.
the reason why I didn't answer like within like the 5 and lower, because
Mhm.
I think it happens over a course of over a period of time. Now, whether that time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, I do not know. But I do think there's going to be a period. I don't think it's an instant death, but I do, because I don't think that's how that works. But I do think it's going to, I do think there's like a corrosive aspect at play. And I do think there's going to be conditions that could speed that process up, his death. Like I said, he feels pain,
Upset
he
of his-
screams
yeah.
instinctively, and then acid floods and like burns him from
But-
like inside. That type of stuff I would take into consideration, a
But I think-
possibility.
I think there are steps taken though, because before we get to pain to the point that he's screaming, that we need to get to the point where it actually bypasses his durability. So that's what I'm trying to get a second, because it's like because the main argument I have is that if he has 5 seconds, he has 1 second to pop up a space-time portal to jump out. So of course there's the corrosive thing that you mentioned, and I agree. There's going to be some lingering effects, but the getting him out of the dimension before he sustains more damage is what I'm trying to accomplish. That's my main goal, right? So that's why I'm trying to get the seconds and things, because I believe Ishiki can pop a portal within 1 second. I think he can do that pretty quickly, right? So if I can, that's why I'm trying to get
Mostly in
like,
the Jigen
if you
fight.
believe it's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get like, if you believe it's 1 second, 3 seconds, and so on. Because if he has more than 3 seconds, I think he can escape the dimension without sustaining a lot of damage. Before it actually starts to burn him to the point where he's screaming to death, you know? That's my main position.
Okay, well, we agree. We disagree with like the durability and like how you're establishing his durability. So
Well, if we
like, now we're at the point where like you're presenting a take, and I've made it clear I disagree with your position, and I don't know how many times I can like reiterate my
No,
position.
no. We understand that you disagree, Mello. Wait.
You keep asking like how long, and I'm telling you like I don't know. So you're like, well, guess a number. I'm like,
no,
I
I
don't
know, but
fucking
we
know.
need.
Like, what do you want me to tell
No,
you?
we-
I
no,
really
you-
don't
Here,
know
I'll bring
if
up-
it's
I'll bring up
between,
new
like,
stuff
1
if you
to
want
10
me to say.
No, but
seconds. I
Mello,
don't know,
Mello,
bro.
Mello, I also don't know, because I'm not Kishimoto. I'm just Because you're giving me like
No,
headcanon on
you've created
everything else.
you've
No,
created you've created an artificial like framework in which he can like survive
no,
for
we're
5
both
seconds.
doing it, and you're creating an artificial framework where he dies instantly or within 2
I
seconds or
didn't
something.
say he
So
died instantly, and I didn't
no,
apply any seconds. I don't know. You're
no,
making that
that's
up.
why no, Mello, listen, that's why I said or. It's either or. That's why I said or. It's either he dies instantly or he dies within a few seconds. Because
But
obviously, if he
That's what
doesn't
you're.
die within
So
2 seconds, he gets a chance to escape. Those are the only 3 options.
so
So
to be so I to be clear, I've made my position clear. I have no idea what you
oh,
want from me at this point, bro. Like what do
okay,
you
all right, all right, all right, all right,
if
okay,
you
all
were
right, all right,
asking
okay.
yourself that
All
question,
right,
how would you
it's fine.
answer it? If you were asking
But
yourself that question, how would you
I
answer
were
that?
if I was on your side arguing, if I had to take your position, though I think it's utterly wrong. I would say if I wanted to win, I would say it's nigh instantaneous death, like 0.0001 attosecond.
And
That's
that's
what
where
I
you
would
and I
say.
differ. I'm not
But
interested in winning.
no,
I'm
no, no, no,
interested
no,
in
no,
getting
no, no, Mello, 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 Mello.
as
Hold
close
on.
as I
Let
can
me,
to
let
like
me
what
get it.
could be correct.
No,
So please
no,
continue.
but
Please
but
continue.
listen, but you're not doing that though because you're not giving us a number. That's what I'm saying. So if I were you, if I wanted to win and I just wanted to win, I'll just say, yo, 0 point something, something, something. But if I just, let's say for argument's sake, we don't know the number, obviously. We also don't know anything else that you've said before as fact, but you've said them. And I've also said things that we don't know as fact because this is a hypothetical. So in a hypothetical, I would expect that you'd also be able to give me a hypothetical number on where you think, he will start to take damage because the entire thing is a hypothetical. But since you haven't given one, there's no way to proceed with the argument in any conceivable way because there's nothing to argue against. So at this point, we just have to move on. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so in all of that, I'm gonna ask the question again. What would your what number would you provide? I'm gonna ask the
Between
question again.
0.0001 attosecond and 1 second,
I
or
didn't.
1.2 second, somewhere around
Okay.
there. Because since
Okay.
I'm saying 3, if I were you and I'm saying 3, I have to be below 3, right? Because my entire argument is that he doesn't escape. You've said that. You think he gets damaged. So obviously your number has to be lower than mine. Because if it's higher, then that means he escapes. So it has to be lower than 3. So somewhere between, some attosecond and 3 seconds. So maybe 2 seconds or 1 second or something.
But
That means he escapes given what you believe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because all right, let me ask you this: how fast do you think Ishiki can like pop
oh my god.
a space-time portal to escape, based
don't
on
know.
like what happened in the battle versus Naruto and Sasuke? Less than a second.
It's difficult to measure like time in anime. It's kind of weird. So I don't know.
No,
But
like
like
based on what
what?
you
I
saw
don't
in the fight.
know.
All right,
I
we don't know
can't.
anything. All right, let me proceed. Let's proceed.
It's not about not knowing anything. Thing.
No,
I've
no. If
started.
we
No,
can't go off what
wait.
we've seen, then there's no way to argue. Because if we can't go off the anime movements based on the time movements in anime, we can't go off anything at all.
No, the problem is you want to argue, and I only argue when I can.
No, but I
That's
just
the
said we can
difference.
move on, but you asked me to answer the question
my
again.
God.
So
All right, let's
But
move on. Let's move
that
on. Let's move
distinction
on.
is very
Let's move
important.
on.
Wait. But that distinction is very important because I don't just argue for the sake of arguing. I only present things when it makes sense to present them. So if you're like, give me a number, I'm like, bro, I don't know the number. So therefore, there's no utility in me arguing a thing I don't know. Unless I want to like engage in that like activity, then I'll present like hypothetical given like certain types of context. But like I want to get a true like measure of the thing, but I don't know because I'm looking at fucking anime and I don't know how fast they're actually moving. They were saying how fast can you activate it? I literally factually cannot answer that question. You're asking me an unanswerable question.
So Mello, you've never used anime to judge how fast someone got from point A to point B. Like never in history. No one does that.
I mean, if you have an example of me doing that, like how a character got from point A to point B.
Yeah, like if you say like, oh, he was able to
I would use
quickly
generalities
dodge.
I would use generalities like they got there like fast or something. But if you want me to say he can activate it fast, like I can't give you like a time frame outside of like a general descriptor of the passing of time.
Okay. All right.
So it's not that everything has to be like we don't know. Like it's just like the specific question you're asking me, I genuinely don't know, and you're asking me like questions that I can't even answer. And given like the hypothetical I presented, I said from the onset, I actually don't know. I think I literally stopped and said, let's start off with I don't know. So I have to like try to arrive at the closest possible thing. Like use the information I have at my disposal to arrive at the closest possible truth, given my perspective on things. So like, yeah, I
No, we
don't
don't know.
know what would happen
Both
with
of
him. You
us.
don't know either.
Yeah,
You
that's
even
why it's
said
a
as much.
hypothetical. Yeah,
Yeah. So like,
that's what a hypothetical is for. We don't
yeah.
know. We're
So
arguing
yeah,
headcanon. So,
essentially, yeah.
but
That's
like
what I've
it's
said from the very
but
beginning.
what I but what I'm saying is that we agree that this is just us giving our take on something that never happened and maybe how it might proceed if it did. So
Yeah.
it's just it makes it more fun to just do it. So I feel like you're like
You want me to
one
guess?
foot. I feel like you're no, well, we're basically guessing here. We're just like giving our opinions on something. So like nothing is
But
confirmed.
but but
What
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying is
like
like,
make educated guesses. Like I'm trying to like, yeah, if you feel pain, you might instinctively scream. So therefore, acid might like. I'm trying to like one to one. I'm not just like
yeah,
he might
but
be dead
then
in 10 seconds. Like
yeah,
that seems a little
no,
lazy.
but educated guesses is also looking at panel movements, right? Not panel movement, but animation. You can make an educated guess based on a character's movement, right? But you're saying that you won't because you don't know the time dilation of anime.
I
That's
guess
basically the argument.
I guess I suppose we have
But
different perspectives in
hmm,
like in what we're doing because like I like you said, um I think you're trying to like argue even if there's like no actual way to argue. So like we create I've explained this before. We create frameworks to do a thing we can't actually do. By default, I'm trying to actually do the thing, and then if I can't, then maybe I'll do something else, right? But my default is if you ask me how fast, I'm going to say I don't know because I don't know because there's no way of doing it, and then I'm done. Like there's no point in me continuing because like you're asking me an unanswerable question, right? Like,
but
like
it's only
if I ask you the question, how fast do you think he can activate a space time ninjutsu? You would tell me
I
like
would
what
do it.
5 seconds given the time interval in the anime or
No,
something?
I would answer that based on what I've seen him do. So it will be like
Or a time interval in
if
the anime or manga?
yeah, because unless it's stated otherwise, it's moving at normal time. Like
Well,
I've never heard the
that's not
argument before
true
that we
though.
can't use them though. I've never
That, that
seen that before.
that's not entirely true if it's otherwise. There's some like visual indicators of like time slowing down. Or like
Exactly, but
if you take a look at like Kaguya versus like when she gets hit by Kakashi or they're trying to seal her away, like there's still like blood that she hasn't healed from. Like the Susanoo hasn't even dissipated above her yet. Like, but all that happens in like 6 minutes. But like in real time, you can imagine it happens like in a few seconds. Like you can maybe like get like a
but that's
general,
shown, right?
but that's what?
When that happens, it's shown, right? So that's how you can go on to depict that specific scene where that happens because it's very clear that that's what's happening. They make it clear when that type of thing is happening,
Yeah.
right? Yes, that's what I'm saying. But when we're talking about like the Jigen scene, it was moving. It was in real time. That there was any slow down motion or anything to depict that that's what was happening. But like again,
What
it goes back to whether you
are you
want to
talking
do
about?
that.
Are you talking about a specific scene?
Yeah, we mentioned it. We're talking about the scene where I think it was when Sasuke Naruto like attacked him with the Rasengan and Sasuke tried to stab him with the sword. You remember?
So-
You remember that
Oh, when they
scene?
warped
And
away?
and he,
Oh,
and
I know
he
what you're talking
teleported
about.
when
When he before he got the horn.
yeah.
No, no,
That's
no, no.
that scene.
Because you, excuse me, you asked me well how fast, like you asked me to like provide an example. I didn't know you were talking about something like specific.
I mentioned it. I said when Jigen teleported. Well, I guess I should have been more specific. But yeah,
Oh,
that's the
I didn't
scene I
know. I
was
didn't know we
referring
were
to.
talking about like a specific instance. I don't really know how to measure that, to be quite frank. I mean, I would have to go off the anime, right? Like, because it wouldn't be like it would be open
Mhm.
to interpretation in the manga.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I would have to go off the anime, but then like I would still operate under the assumption that these characters are like moving really quickly. So even if like it appears to be one thing, like given the level of these characters and like the tier of combat that they're in, maybe if I had an instance where like Naruto is stationary and then like I can compare Sasuke's
Mhm.
movements to like Naruto's like maybe he blinks I can compare how fast like Sasuke move. Like that's kind of what I would need. But I would assume if Sasuke's like dropping his sword down for like an attack, that's a quick movement.
Exactly. But look at it this way, Mello. It can only go faster. If we're arguing how fast Jigen can activate the space time portal, and if we go off the time that's being counted, seconds
So you want me?
being
So
counted
it
the
goes.
seconds.
So I give you a general answer and it's fast. I
No,
can't
no.
give
What
you
I
a
mean is that
specific answer, so I'll give you a general one. It's
no,
fast.
no. But what I'm saying is that it can only be less than a second. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, if it
if the
looks like
real
a second
time
in anime time, but they're moving
exactly,
at
and you're
light
arguing that they're
speed, it's
moving
only
really
gonna be
fast, it
faster,
can
not
only be
slower.
faster. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if he's able to do that in 1 second in anime time, that's being depicted to us, and we're arguing that this character is slowed down so we can see they're actually moving at light speed, it can only be faster. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I bring it back to
So sorry. So
how
what's the
fast you
part?
think.
What's the point of asking me the question if there's only like one answer I could provide and you knew what it was?
That's it's
So
a
why
rhetoric
not just
question. It's
present? So why not just present it?
no, I was presenting it. I was literally saying that
No,
it
you
was
should
it
have
took
said
1
bro.
second.
You should have just
No,
said
I
bro
did.
can
No,
teleport
the
in 1
question
second,
he
and then
asked you,
we could have
Mello, was
avoided
how
like
long
20
you think
minutes of this.
Ishiki can withstand the acid, not how
Yeah,
fast the
that's
portal is.
so we're trying to get to that's why I said it took him 1 second to in anime time to do that, but and then I'm bringing that back to okay, how fast do you think he can get damaged by the acid? But you've already said you can't pinpoint a specific number. But the point about the 1 second thing was just to get you to the point where like he can at least it can only be 1 second or faster for him to open a portal. So that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. Like
yeah,
your answer
I've
to how
never
fast he
argued.
can.
Sorry.
No.
That's not important to my position. I don't like he. Yeah, that's fine. He can open a portal in 1 second. That's good. Like
Yeah. So
I never took into consideration that it would take him like a length of time to open the portal once he had his cognitive processes. If he had his cognitive processes in order, that's never been like a part of my equation at all. So that's perfectly fine.
no. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like if we can get to that point, 1 second or less to activate the portal, I think that's why I'm saying that your time frame for the acid to actually damage him meaningfully has to be between like a half a second and maybe 2 seconds, because you're factoring like how quickly he can get his mental factor, because there's no way to really calculate that. But let's say we put that in and we add like a second or two, because these characters can perceive things really fast as fast as they move, right? So that I'm using what we've seen to say
I
that
do
it
think
has to be between half a
but wouldn't
second
that
and 3
I
seconds.
do think you
wouldn't
need
that
to add a
context?
little bit of time, because when Ishiki opens the portal, the acid will go with him while
No, yeah,
he's
I
traveling
factor
through
that
the
in.
portal,
That's
and
what
then
I'm
he's gonna
saying.
come out to me on for a second. So you're gonna probably need to double the portal time,
No,
probably, just
not
to be
really.
fair.
Not really, because that's different. Because if he teleports out of the dimension, like the acid is gonna come through, but he's not gonna be in the acid. It's just gonna be what's left on his body.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can argue like maybe there's some
I think
leftover,
he'll
but
be touching it. He won't be submerged, but it'll still be touching
yeah,
him.
because like it's not like he's gonna fly out, right? He's gonna fly upwards and he's gonna move. Like it's gonna be like you open like a big tube and the water is pouring out and you just go upwards or to the side. He's not gonna be submerged in it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the basic argument I'm making here.
Maybe like half portal time or something is worth
Yeah.
of damage. Half of 1.5 portals worth.
How so if you're like my time interval must be that length of time that you presented. I don't quite remember what it was. That's fine. Because if you want to say like he just dies in an instant, whatever. Like because
No.
how I presented my position was I don't know, and I'm trying to make sense of the situation, right? So if you incorporate new information for me to use that can get me to a better conclusion, I have no problem using that information. So if
Yeah,
you want to
that's
say like if you want to give me a time interval for like when he can activate his space time ninjutsu and like a time interval for how long he can like sustain it given my position that you don't agree with, then that's perfectly fine. Like I'll use that new information and like adjust my conclusion. Because
so
at the
what's
heart
your adjust?
at the heart of my position is not a solidified conclusion. I literally
I know.
started with
We know,
saying
Melo.
like yeah,
We
but
know.
it seems like I'm being held to like some position and like I'm super
No,
confused.
Mel, we're not holding you. I'm giving you my position and explain. So I'm asking you what you're gonna do with this information. So you say you're gonna adjust. So what do you think based on your adjustment?
Well, given what you said, I have an interval of time for how long he can activate the space-time ninjutsu, or how quickly he can get it off. Let's just say that, which I didn't take into consideration because I didn't think it was relevant. So that's perfectly fine. I think he dies before he even gets it off, and if he doesn't die, he appears like in whatever dimension he teleports to, and then he just dies from the like cumulative damage over time because he has no healing factors. That's how I think it would go either way. And then also, given like your analysis, I would have an interval of time for how much the damage would like hurt him given my position, correct? Which would be like, what do you say, like a nanosecond or something?
I'm like, between like an attosecond and like 1 second or maybe 2, because he can activate the thing within a second.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is just taking your word for it, like the maths, and then sure, that's fine. So he dies like less than a second. And
so you think that's there we go. Yes, sir. Finally, we got a number. Less than a second. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So Mello believes he dies in less than a second.
Oh, good enough. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So wait, really quickly though, because like, why didn't you just like present all of this from the onset?
I did that. Hold on. Before you say anything, good. No, hold on. Kamui, Oodie, how many times did I say Jigen activated his karma seal in less than a second?
Wait.
Not the karma seal, the portal. Teleported.
Wait, he said a thing, but he didn't explain it.
I did.
No, you didn't explain like the Sasuke and then like him dropping the sword and like the interval of time that has to like you didn't explain any of that. But you said a thing and like had me take your word for it with no explainer.
No, but if you wanted the specific scene where it happened, you could have just asked me. But I gave the feat. The feat is what matters, not the scene. But if you needed evidence, you could have just say, "Yo, when did this happen?" But I did give the feat, which is less than 1 second. He activated and he teleported, not just activated, but teleported in less than a second. So that's what I'm saying. I gave the feat, but you said it was irrelevant.
No. You gave the feat when we were like you didn't initially give the feat. Whatever.
I did.
So what does this mean, kiddo? What does this mean?
It just it just brings us to we have a conclusion that you believe he dies to acid in less than a second. And I believe he escapes before he dies. So that's just the two positions we have. So those are the time frames, and that's it.
I actually don't believe he dies in less than a second.
But he just said that.
I know.
But you don't believe it. Okay.
I don't believe that wholeheartedly, bro. I actually do think he I literally explained what I think was going on. I think he gets dropped in there, and I think he it takes some time to process. He squirms and I think he probably instinctively screams out in agony or pain. If not, he's probably already cooked. And then maybe opens his eye if it happens instantaneously, I assume his eyes were open. So this I don't know if his eyeballs can take
his eyes have durability as well.
But why would he take so long to react?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. No, but Mello's version, he's not very smart. So that's the
I don't think intellect
it's not
plays a factor.
Yeah.
I think he's going through some shit because he's burning to death.
No, intellect does play a factor because we're arguing how fast his mental faculties checks in for him to decide, I need to escape. So that's a part of intellect, right?
That's fine. I don't think that's intellect. No, I don't think that is intellect.
Wait a minute. Can't Ishiki just shrink the acid?
Wait.
Yeah.
Can't Ishiki shrink the acid?
That's processing ability.
Wait, I'm meeting him where he's at, so that's fine. So I get what you're saying. So I'll clarify. I do think intellect will play a role at some point, but I think the initial happenings are going to be all instinct and emotion. And then at some point, I do think if he survives, he'll snap and then start to cognitively process things, and then start to do things if he survives that long. But I'm not sure how long that is. In all truthful, even given that I said it was a second or whatever the fuck we arrived at. But I genuinely don't know, because I do think that I don't think acid insta kills you. I do think there's going to be a moment where you feel it or you don't, or you just like fucking like wither and die. But I don't think it's like instantaneous
I
death
have a
under
question.
any circumstance. Even if you throw me in acid, I don't think I instantaneously die unless it's from shock or some shit. I don't know.
Mel, this isn't a point. This is a question
So
for
yeah,
you.
so
Really quick, Kido. Are you saying that you think Ishiki would instinctually not think to teleport away because he's panicking? Do you think that applies to a normal person, or is there something from Ishiki specifically from his personality that you're pointing to make you think that?
this is
I'm
from
sorry.
Mello, right?
Yes. Yeah, so like do you
Yeah,
think it's
that's
like a
Mello.
default
Okay.
assumption that anyone would panic if they had the ability to teleport away that they wouldn't because they're panicking? Or do you think there's something Ishiki does specifically that you think his behavior would have him choose to panic instead of teleport away? Hypothetically, if he could.
It's kind of a little bit of both, but more so like
Yeah.
instinctually, I think he would panic. But I also take into consideration that he's like very cool, calm, and collected until like the instance where we saw shit hit the fan, and that he really lost his cool and his like that disposition went away.
Okay.
And then I do think there was yeah. But also like it's impossible, again, I don't know, for me to like know what he would do. It like goes from one instance to where he's like looking at Kaguya, and the next thing you know, like he's like surrounded by fucking acid, and he's like feeling like chemical burns, and he's like fucking screaming and shit. Like if he does scream, I don't fucking know. Like maybe he like mans the fuck up and does the Joey Wheeler face from Yu-Gi-Oh and like fucking tanks the shit. Like I don't know.
Like, the
I
ghost-
think
Based off the
that's a
Kakashi
fair
Koji
argument.
versus Jigen fight when Kashi
Wait,
and
I
Koji
can't. There's only one person that can talk. I can't hear.
based on the Jigen versus Kashi and Koji fight when Kashi and Koji instantly surrounded Jigen with flaming mountain flames and
Facts.
Jigen didn't scream.
But that's
he
not
just
Ishiki.
instantly
Can
tried to
Ishiki
shrink him.
feel Jigen's pain? I don't think he can because Ishiki didn't realize Jigen was crying until afterwards.
What?
Well, it seemed like I think he can feel the pain.
Is
I
there
mean,
I
he
one
feels
literally
Jigen's
heard-
pain.
I
You've
heard him
seen feel
scream.
pain?
There's a scene where he screamed.
That's
Maybe
Jigen
Jigen.
screaming
Literally,
again
it
because
is-
Ishiki didn't cry. Jigen did.
That's not Jigen. Jigen doesn't have control over it. He's literally mouth movements. He's literally
has control enough to
screaming.
cry?
And Jigen is control.
Or does he scream?
No,
Probably anime only.
That's
Which chapter is
perspiration. That's a natural bodily function that happens.
Which chapter?
It's not natural. No, you're not saying. You
It's
know
probably
why
46
exactly he
or
cried. They're not just
48.
randomly
What are-
drawing that in the
what are
manga,
you
some
referring
random
to for
panel.
this?
You gotta look at the
No,
context.
no,
Mello, which
listen,
are you
listen.
asking? Why is
You're not
Mental
listening.
fight.
There's a difference between something naturally happening on the inside of your body, then comes out, than you being able to actually move your physical mouth to open it and scream, which Jigen cannot control his body. Ishiki is in control of the body. But pain itself isn't something Jigen can control. It's something that happens and your body naturally reacts
Well, do you
to
think
pain.
the fire was
There's
on
a
the
difference
inside?
between those two things.
Like, why do you think Ishiki would feel pain from inside, or do you think he feels for some reason
because
what
he's connected
Jigen
to.
feels?
Remember, he's a parasite because he's connected to. He connected his entire body. Like
How?
lower
His
body's
nerve system?
fused
How
into
did he
Jigen's
connect
brain.
his entire
To be
body?
honest,
Yeah.
Oodie, it might not matter.
How does he?
It might
How
not
does
even,
he?
Oodie,
Well, did
it
he
might
his
not
body
matter
use
because
with it?
Ishiki died inside those flames. Like the literal tiny Ishiki was burned alive. That's why he resurrected. So Ishiki, just in general, may have been burning from those flames. Not just Jigen, but literally Ishiki.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, no,
That's how he
I mean,
died.
That's just facts.
Well, no, I do think it is because
So,
Jigen
yeah,
was
so it-
burning, not because of Ishiki. But maybe that's just me.
No,
both
Ishiki died
burned.
inside Jigen. The literal
Amado literally
tiny
said
Ishiki died.
died in his brain.
But no, I'm
Yeah,
saying,
so
though,
that's-
do you
that's
think,
why I
no,
said,
no,
like,
no,
he
no, no,
never
no,
healed.
Kami, that's not what I'm saying. Regardless, I'm saying, do you think Ishiki chose to revive
Chapter.
because Ishiki died or because Jigen died?
The flame thing, probably 46 or 47, Mello.
Both of them died.
That's not what
No,
I'm
remember
saying.
that the
I'm saying,
Otsutsuki
why
doesn't resurrect.
do
No,
you
listen.
think?
Let me answer. Oh, the Otsutsuki only resurrects when the Otsutsuki dies, not the vessel. Remember, Ishiki was alive inside Jigen's head all this time. He was still alive. So Ishiki had to die for him to resurrect.
I don't
So
think
they
it's
both
automatic
died.
thing. I think he can choose at any point to revive through the karma.
It
if it's
literally
extracted.
says that
No, he
it's
has to know.
automatic. It
He
literally
had
says
to
it is
die
automatic in the
to
manga.
make him resurrect. The
If it
reason he
says that, then
literally
resurrected
never
says it's
mind.
word for word.
Ishiki. Yeah. So that's why Ishiki resurrected.
Well,
'cause the
okay, it's
tiny Ishiki
automatic, but
died
at any point
inside.
Jigen could have revived, right? Like he can also choose when to do it outside of it
He
being
would have to
automatic?
kill. Ishiki would have to kill himself.
I don't
to
think
do
that's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
Two
there'd be two
Ishiki
Ishikis,
can't
which goes
resurrect if
against the whole
exactly, which is why the
two-personality.
karma evaporates from other vessels. Like that's a contradiction. Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
He can't have two Ishikis.
No, I know. No, what
So
I'm
he
saying.
can't just do like
Well, the
Ishiki.
stopgap removes the
best
karma
case
from
scenario
everyone
you can
else. It
say
removed it from
is
Kwaki for that
he
very
would die
reason.
by resurrecting.
I don't think he has to.
Exactly.
Well, no, if he resurrects into Jigen, Jigen would die, not Ishiki. Ishiki would just never die in that case.
You, I have a question for you guys.
No,
since we're
because
kind
Ishiki
of parsing this.
would.
He wouldn't have to kill Jigen.
Okay.
It would be the resurrection that kills. But go ahead, Mel.
Does the context in which he gets how do I want to say? I'll just say how I'm thinking, and maybe I can correct. Does the context when he gets teleport like change for you? So like say like Kaguya. I mean, I would imagine their fight would have to like occur under some circumstances or whatever. Basically, what I'm saying is like if she warps him to like that dimension, whatever that dimension to him, and he's like in a state of quote unquote off guard. Do you take that into consideration? Do you think his durability is as such to where he could just like tank the damage and then get out of there regardless of the context?
Probably. There's like a it depends. So it all goes, there's no way to prove on either side because it all goes back to how you think he scales the acid. So if it's base durability, because there is base durability, regardless of whether you're on guard or off guard, it's all hypothetical. You know, if you believe he scales acid, then yeah, he dies off guard. If you don't believe that, then there is some durability that provides some shield, regardless of whether he's like fortifying his body with chakra. You know?
What do you believe?
I think he doesn't die to acid.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think based on his.
I'm just
Off guard.
basing this, off guard. Yeah,
Based on
I'm just
his-
basing this off characters literally walking through fire. You know?
Based
But
on his
that's just me.
So
characterization.
if he's walking through it, would he be on guard?
No. He's on guard. But I wasn't referring to Ishiki. I'm just saying like characters throughout Naruto. When it comes to like fire, hasn't killed anyone. You know? But again, you know, there's a difference between fire
Kill
and acid.
Victor.
Hey, those were
There's-
supreme fire.
There's no way to
Yeah.
know, Mello, but
Supreme
I think if he's
fires.
off guard, I understand that his arrogance leads him to make decisions that you may consider dumb, but I think he's presented in a way that comes across as intelligent, at least within Jigen. Like, he is able to deduce immediately that Kashin, Koji, and Amado were the traitors. He was basically letting them come clean to it. So I think he's intelligent enough to make logical decisions, and based on his fighting style, at least as Jigen, but I think also as Ishiki, he relies on his abilities a lot, which you could say would go to his arrogance. So I think he would default to his abilities before anything else.
Yeah,
in
I
terms
feel
of
like his
decision
default,
making.
honestly speaking, his default ability would be to shrink. Like just like the flames, he might just try to shrink the acid.
When-
Stupid
might
as that
fuck-
sounds.
Wouldn't it be like a omnidirectional thing that he's like submerged in?
So I
He
mean,
would
kind of
only
the same with
shrink the
fire.
things he sees, but
I
if he
think that
can
would
shrink a
fuck him
lot
even
of it,
worse. I think
mean,
the only
here's it.
shot. I think the only shot that maybe you would have if he can shrink it quickly, if you think that's
Nah,
possible,
nah.
or he instant teleports. I
Nah,
think the
here's
instant
this, here this.
teleports. Hit us.
Daikokuten.
Well, no, I was thinking that, but also Sukuna Hikona and then Daikokuten.
Over.
Because
Over. He goes to Daikokuten. He's no longer getting damage because time is frozen.
exactly.
And the water gets frozen as well.
And he can move in
GG's.
Daikokuten, so he would just remove all the acid off himself,
What's-
so he would just take
But
off
what-
the damage over time effect and teleport back wherever.
Does that change your original argument though? Like, what would be like
Jeez.
materially
that would still be the
different
portal thing.
outside
No,
of
I
like,
was,
the
I was just
abilities?
using your new thing about, you know, like him escaping. I was just like giving another thing where Daikokuten makes
I
the most
see, I see, I
sense.
see.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but same with
Okay.
Sukuna Hikona.
Like an instantaneous like dojutsu activation.
Yeah.
Sukuna
Mhm.
Hikona would give him much more time because the moment he activates it to shrink, he wouldn't be touching the acid, I don't think. Just because of the speed of the shrinking compared to the
At least the
dispersing
acid
of
that
the
he
acid.
saw.
Yeah, the acid we see coming out of the dimension that hits Sakura, I'm gonna guess it's not moving at supersonic speed, so I'm guessing Sukuna Hikona would just outspeed the speed the acid would disperse the placement of where Ishiki was. And so he would just have time if he used Sukuna Hikona, where he could just react from there.
Yeah, if he Sakura Hikonas and then everything in front of him that he sees is gone, basically. But then he makes
Oh,
the
I meant
portal in front of him
himself,
and jumps in
but
it.
that
That's
works
probably
too.
his best way to do it.
Yeah, I meant his own body, but
that
the
too.
acid
Yeah, because
too.
like if he shrinks, it will leave like a body, like
An
a
Ishiki-sized
body-shaped
body where
hole,
he
you know?
was, yeah, and he'd be like in the middle of it or whatever.
Ishiki's size body where he was.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
That's smart.
take.
That's smart. That's
I did
smart.
have
I don't agree,
13
but
other
that's
arguments in terms of this, if we want.
Hit me up. Hit me up.
All right,
I'm trying to
so
find where he likes. You say he screams. Sorry. Chapter 70, 40, 49, 47?
Right.
He
Yeah, if
screams.
you mean the fire thing, try like 47 or end of 46, beginning 47. The starting point. Let me just see what it
in
is.
I mean,
terms
I'll just
of
argue context.
like on
I
guard,
think it's
off guard,
47,
if he's
46.
off guard, I think you would just have whatever his normal base durability would be. I would imagine it's more than humans. Like, I'd imagine it was probably more than Sakura, just Otsutsuki in general. But I have nothing to base that off of. I would just assume it would be. If it's on guard, I think he could just enhance his durability with chakra. Like the whole thing of like gentle fist. It hits the organs, internal organs. You can't train those, but you can train your skin. You can harden your skin with chakra. Eyes have skin. Skin have chakra. Ishiki's dojutsu has extra chakra. Chakra's in every cell. Eyes have more cells than usual. And yeah, so
Can I ask you two things?
his
Do
eyes
you,
wouldn't burn
so the first thing would
as
be,
fast.
do you think it's possible for and the eyes durability is interesting to me, by the way.
Yeah.
But do you that's interesting.
Unai level.
I'm not gonna go there, but that's interesting. There are moments in a battle where characters are not on guard, even though they're in battle.
Yes.
So that possibility exists.
Yes.
Okay.
Against screaming's in chat, by the way.
But if we're going with likelihood over
Thank you so
possibility, then I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen.
That's not it.
Or that it couldn't happen. But
Well, he's saying,
Most likely he's not
think,
even exclamation marking.
Kido
it's counts as
Maki-
scream.
yeah, he's just
Oh, you sent something in
dashing
chat?
instead of being-
I think
No, I mean, he's going,
That's
ah!
R.
I think that counts as screaming, doesn't it?
so he clenched his teeth and
Not
like
intense.
that's
well,
it?
the next panel we can't see his mouth, but obviously saying since his mouth has to be open.
Yeah, I feel like that it indicates he's
So
the
in
acid
pain.
goes
He's
in
a
his mouth?
pirate.
No, that's not where I think
He's
this is to
actually
prove that
arg.
he feels pain in Jigen's body. But
Oh no,
Yeah.
I think he does.
yeah,
No, that's fine. I
but
think he
Udo's
does.
arguing that he doesn't. That's what we're trying to prove.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think he screams when he feels pain. I think he might feel pain from acid. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually,
but
this is a side note. Apparently, Edo
not-
Tenseis do feel
But
pain.
I think he doesn't.
Apparently, I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw it recently. Edo Tenseis feel pain, by the way.
I mean, they wince.
Apparently.
I've seen them wince
Oh, there you
before.
go. Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Kido Maki?
They get tired and feel pain. Yeah, but I'm saying like that. Well, all right. So let me preface this. So are you saying? So you just said he dies to acid. Are you come to that conclusion based on Jigen dying to fire, or you're just reiterating your like original point, absent of this context?
I'm linking it back to my original point. Again, if new information comes out, I adjust that point. Yeah.
I said the reason why I think this doesn't really help is because like this is a Jigen in less than 10% dying bodies. I don't think this supplements argument in any way. I don't
Can
think
you take that
this
into
helps
consideration?
in Ishiki durability, who is brimming with power.
Why is Jigen dying here again? Remind me.
So the body is decaying. I think he said it. There's a statement that he said the body's reached its limits and it's decaying, so it won't last much longer. And he's reached the dregs of the
Body
chakra
had
too.
basically no chakra, and it was also a broken vessel
And it
at
was
the same
cracking
time.
up and shit. So the
Yeah.
body is just not. I would argue that
Okay.
this Jigen
Which
is.
that's important because you look
Ishiki.
at the skin durability, then you look at Sakura. Sakura wasn't even using chakra to heal her own self with the
keep talking
medical
about
ninjutsu,
Sakura,
so she
bro.
obviously wasn't using it to amp her
Bro, stop with
durability.
Sakura, bro. Stop with
It's to
Sakura,
say
bro.
that
That's
it
crazy.
would
Goat.
explain why she would be hurt by
Sakura
the
goat.
acid because she wasn't using chakra.
That's
Same as
that's fine.
Jigen. He doesn't have
good
chakra
point.
here.
That's an excellent point you brought up, Kido. I'll recant that. My second question is, do you take into consideration his orifices, like his ears, and the ability,
Guess
and
what?
the possibility
I
that he wouldn't
do,
be
yeah.
able to like
The only thing is, again, Sukuna
Guess
Hikono
what,
1,
Mello?
but 2,
Superhuman eardrums.
I think it takes time to disperse the acid again. It's
Superhuman
not
eardrums,
supersonic
bruh.
speed, so it would take like a good second to get inside him, even like a quarter second. But I think he'd be able to react fast enough, considering he reacts to like light speed things.
express it super eardrum.
No, but
okay.
hey, technically, he could
Nose.
shield it.
Well, I mean, that's weird because that's
Yeah.
again anime logic. Because internal organ, sure, I guess the skin is an external organ, but it's still an organ. What's the difference in terms of
Nostrils.
universe? Like, what's the explanation there?
No, technically, Mel, look at this. If you go underwater with a boat and you turn it upside down, the water wouldn't go up into the boat, you know? So technically, if he's
True,
submerged
yeah.
underwater, the water wouldn't go up into his nose.
I guess same with water in terms of
The acid wouldn't
humans.
go up
Like you
into his
can
nose.
go submerge yourself in water,
Oh,
and
sorry.
and then the water doesn't go to your brain. It stops
I'm
in the
not.
ear.
I'm sorry. So I'm taking into consideration not just like what would happen in like a kind of like a vacuum, but like what he would also add to the situation. So like you go from one instance to another, you're like burning, like I think that's an instinctive thing that happens, and
That,
I
that,
think he
mhm.
like
Would
yeah.
that be instinctive
That's the
for
thing, but I
Otsutsuki?
don't believe he burned so quickly. So that's just the difference between that's
Okay,
the difference
that's
between
fine.
you and me. Yeah.
Going to the eyes again. I
wait,
don't
sorry.
think he needs the.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You had something.
Oh no, I was about to ask something different.
Okay. Well, really quick on
I
the
just want to
eyes.
know.
Oh, okay, or not. Go ahead.
Yeah, hit me up.
Okay, sure. With the
No,
eyes
please
again, I don't think he
leave a
needs it
comment.
because like any other Otsutsuki pretty much can teleport without that eye, including Jigen, Kawaki, and Boruto. So I don't think they need the eye to teleport.
And Kinshiki and Momoshiki
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
and
Can you say that again?
Urchiki.
It's not an
No,
eye-based
basically
no.
every
ability.
Otsutsuki has the base
Oh, I see. Space
teleportation.
Teleportation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same with
without
flying.
Yeah, I mean,
the
granted though, they
Renegon
all
and
do it
stuff.
in a different way, so we don't know if Kinshiki has a specific way he does it, whereas
Is
each
it
Otsutsuki
Kamui?
might just have a specific way. Yeah,
I don't know if
his
that
looks like
matters.
Kamui, but it's probably not Kamui.
Mhm.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
the eyes,
So-
it's like Superman, right? Superman got shot in his eye with a bullet, like it bounced off. So same thing.
in terms of the fire,
Mm.
Mello, I know you probably don't want to like argue or hear the argument, but I'm not gonna argue that it is as hot as the sun because I can't do that.
Sorry. That Superman thing was wild, bro. But no, please continue.
It happened, bro. It happened.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not going to argue that Amaterasu is as hot as the sun, but I think the inference can be made. I'm not saying that I'm going to make it, but I'm going to lead you to where it can be made. So we know that Sasuke, like Kid Sasuke, Bell tests
Wait,
Sasuke.
Oodie.
Yeah.
Do you think Amaterasu is as hot as the sun?
I don't know.
Okay, just making sure. I want you to. No, I'm asking you. Do you believe it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's
Alright, bet.
definitely possible. I think it's as hot as a Naruto sun.
I'm asking you what.
Goat.
Yes. So okay. So your answer is I don't know. Okay, cool.
Well, okay. If I want
No.
to answer
No, your
yes,
answer
there's
is
also
it's as hot
ways
as.
to get us around it. Because
Oh,
what
what
part
do
of the sun? For example, when you're talking about Earth, are you talking about a rock or all of Earth? Because the sun is only as hot as the sun because it's as big as the sun. If you take a part of the sun as big as Amaterasu and you separate it from the sun, it's not going to be as hot as the sun. And
Can
so
I
it
get
could
the
be
chapter
as hot
number
as
for
that.
the
Also,
Amaterasu?
also,
Can I get the chapter number for the Amaterasu lore? as well?
also, how hot is Naruto's sun?
So, like, for
Like, do you
example,
think Naruto's sun
Mello,
is as hot as our
what I'm
sun?
saying is possibly if you have a sun if you have Amaterasu as big as the sun, would it be as hot as the sun? I think it's a fair assumption. It's maybe
No.
hotter.
Sorry, I literally don't care about the sun thing. I'm just...
Okay, really quick. I just want to make the
Sorry,
inference
God.
though, just because
Sorry.
I freaking thought
Sorry,
about
even
it. 2
answer.
hours
Like,
ago.
sorry, does anyone have the chapter for the Amaterasu lore or something? Because if I look it up on Wiki, I'm sure I'm not gonna find it.
I don't remember which chapter it was. It was
Probably like
probably Black Zed, so I don't
370,
know.
380
Maybe.
if I had to guess. You could at least start there.
380.
That's a complete random guess. Is where 350 is. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
asking.
gonna assume that's around the
some
Sasuke versus Itachi fight. You can just look it up on Google here. I'll just do that for you. What chapter manga Sasuke v Itachi? Look around. Yeah, 384 to 412. So it's probably like 405 if I had to guess. You can start there. Anyways, so Bell tests Sasuke's fire is hot enough to vaporize the dirt below it as it passes by in a pretty quick amount of time. I'm not going to say instantaneous, but very quick. And if you've ever seen fire in real life, it doesn't do that unless it's very, very hot. I think someone did the calculation for like 3,000 something degrees. And that would be a minimum since we don't know how hot it is. We just know it's at least that hot. So if that's Kid Sasuke's fireball, you get stronger versions of Sasuke, it'd be hotter. Then you get Jonin fireballs, it'd be even hotter than a stronger Sasuke. Then you get Itachi, it's stated the hottest normal fireball. Then you get Amaterasu, which is 4 degrees of heat, which are substantial, that are hotter than hot enough to vaporize the ground pretty much instantaneously. Well, that's how you get to the sun. And like Kid Sasuke, like Bell tests Sasuke's fireball that's vaporizing the sun. other characters are able to just be around it without commenting on the heat. Even like Itachi's fireball, KCM1 Naruto is barely grazing it and taking no damage. And if that's 3 times substantially hotter in terms of degrees, at least, than Bell tests Sasuke's fireball, it should be strong enough to easily burn away Naruto's skin, but it doesn't do any damage at all. So Amaterasu would be substantially hot, and characters should be able to have some level of strong heat resistance. That's the inference. There you go. More than a human, at least. Thoughts?
The fireball wasn't like burning them, basically.
Yeah, so it can burn the ground,
that
but
what-
not them. Yeah, so they're stronger than dirt, which is actually impressive.
That's fine.
Yeah, because dirt can like
So-
tank up
so
to
do
like
you think-
3,000
so-
degrees.
Do you think the sun can burn dirt?
Yes. I would assume so, anyways.
Right, that was just so funny. I don't know why.
is there further that you
Okay.
wanted to go with that? Or?
There was a point I was gonna make. I could sorry, give me a second.
Okay.
So that would just establish that the heat of the fireball wouldn't be able to burn them, but the heat of the sun hasn't been established, so therefore that's still an unknown element or something of the sort. Would be
Oh,
the
I like that.
argument I would
Yeah,
say.
because we don't know how hot the sun is in Naruto.
Or like how
the-
they would react to it.
The reason that matters beyond just it being an anime sun is because we see the moon itself was created, and we know the moon wasn't made by Creation of All Things by Hagoromo in our real life. So because the moon was made differently, it's likely the sun was. Also the fact that apparently Shibai made the universe, meaning he would have made the sun. Shibai, as far as we're aware, did not
That
make our
is
sun.
not.
So it's more than just a different
How did you
sun
arrive
than
at that
Naruto.
conclusion, bro? That's crazy. It's likely the sun